I guess I'm not that surprised knowing what I do about traditional publishing, but I'm a little bit surprised that somebody would still say no to you at this stage. I would think you could just walk into Scholastic and say, real quick, what are your top 3 selling series? All right, then. Here's my next book.
Well, that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen every day. But I think, you have to you have to write a really good book to get published. And there's a lot of really good books out there. And the key is to be a really good book with a unique twist. Because,
Go ahead.
well, because why buy something that's already been done?
Well, you say that, and yet, and yet, every year I see the same types of books come out. Like somebody's buying them. There's always a new variation on a girl and her horse.
Well, that's the key. New variation, I guess. It's not exactly the same. They've twisted it in some way, I guess.
I think I never say my favorite because I'm going to insult 10 other people. But a book that I really enjoyed was I Remember Horses by, I think it's The Girl Who Remembered Horses. I Remember Horses, The Girl Who Remembered Horses by Linda Benson, but it's a girl and a horse story. And I went through a whole phase at the blog where I was reviewing nonstop girl and her horse stories. But this one was set during the apocalypse. I said, okay, that's how you get me back.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess publishers don't want to, well, like you said, there's some books that you see all the time, dog books, but they want something unique about the approach to the dog book, because why buy something that's already been done? So that's the trick that makes it so hard. It has to be the same yet better and different. Because let's face it, kids like to read about sports. They like to read about dogs. They like adventure. They like horses. So how can you make that into something new and exciting? It's easy. No.
Well, I wouldn't have thought so, but 160 books by Debbie Dadey proves me wrong. It must be at the very least doable.
Well, you just keep trying, right? You just keep trying.
And oh Lord, what are the biggest changes that you've seen over your career in publishing? I know you mentioned self-publishing. What other changes have you seen?
Well, I don't think editors maybe have the time to take with you to make your story better. You've heard about these agents editors who will, take you by the hand and lead you to the path of greatness. Well, I don't think that you pretty much have to be great to get the editor to shake your hand to begin with anymore, because they're just so busy and they don't have time to coddle you, and if your manuscript isn't pretty much perfect when they first see it, you don't have much hope, it seems like.
And you were getting feedback on your outlines back in the middle school days, right?
Yeah.
And is that just not some? I'm assuming you mentioned that you're still presenting multiple ideas and getting at least some feedback, but is it just not the same amount of concentration just for you? Or?
Well, I still, like for the Mermaid Tales, I do a outline and get the same feedback from my editor, which is wonderful. But I'm just talking about globally. It doesn't seem like the editors have that same time and energy to put into perhaps growing a really good writer. They expect the writer to be really good to begin with. Does that make sense? I don't know.
It does, which has got to be heartening for you, because you are really good to begin with. But it's a tall order for some newbie writers just coming up. And then, what are the most effective forms of marketing that you found? You mentioned you're doing social media every morning. How are you reaching readers and keeping your name out there?
Well, Rob, you just reminded me of something that has changed in the last 30 years. When I first started writing, there was no Facebook, there was no Twitter, there was no LinkedIn, there was, none of that.
And everybody felt so much better about themselves.
Yeah, it was a different world. And so I kind of got pulled in kicking and screaming into social media by my children. My daughter set me up an account, and somebody had the audacity to talk to me. And I'm like, now what do I do? So I'm becoming better at it. I'm on Debbie Dadey, Facebook.com/Debbie Dadey, Twitter.com/Debbie Dadey. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Pinterest. And I think that's pretty much, I think I have a little thing on Tumblr that an intern set up for me one summer that I don't think I've ever looked at since she set it up for me. But that was interesting. But so I try to do, a little bit that I'm comfortable with. And I think that's the key, doing things that you're comfortable with. It's not too far outside of your comfort zone, but it is good to kind of push yourself a little bit to see what you can do. And that's what I did with that Facebook Live Writing Comes Alive series. I kind of pushed myself to try something new doing the Facebook Live. But yeah, that's definitely something that has changed in the 30 years. And you know what? I totally forgot your question. What was it?
I was just talking about what are the most effective ways to reach readers and market your books.
Oh, don't we all wish we knew that?
Well, I'm assuming you know it, and then you'll tell me, and then I'll be enlightened. This is going to be a great moment for me.
I'm still waiting for that to happen, but I just try. Sometimes I feel like I'm hitting my head against the wall. Is this really working? But I just do all the social media that I can, and but I try to write the best book I can too. And I think that's probably the best advertisement for your brand, yourself, you as a writer, is to put that book out there that hopefully somebody's really going to enjoy. And if they really enjoy it, hopefully they're going to tell their friend, and just keeps mushrooming out. And hopefully everybody will be reading your book.
Sure, you get that word of mouth going, and then it's marketing for you 24/7 without you even knowing that's going on.
Yeah, that's what we all hope for, huh?
Well, I assume it's happening, but how would we know that they don't involve us in the conversation? So I'll just assume it's all good things happening online where I'm not looking.
We hope so. We hope so. Good thing.
And then, are you using Publicist? You mentioned you're doing multiple school visits. You're doing workshops. You're going out to signings. Are you setting those up? Do you have somebody set them up for you?
Well, Scholastic and Simon & Schuster are the two publishers I've done the most books with. But sometimes things will come through them. But I do have ways that you can contact directly. People can contact me directly on my website, which I think is a great thing to do. It doesn't have my email on there, but it has a click button to contact me, and it comes directly to my email. So that's a great way for people to contact me directly, and that happens quite a bit too.